Right, so it's been a while since I've played Subnautica with any mods on it. Last time I played was my custom craft run. That took 15 hours. I have disabled that mod. We don't want this taking another 15 hours. This is playing around with the transition mod. And we're going to time it, because why not? Because it's modded, it does allow us to also play around with other things. I mean, I could reset for a better spawn, potentially. But we'll just do it raw, so to speak. So everything's perfectly normal for now. You can see in the bottom right it tells me where we currently are. That will become relevant. That said, I kind of wish it didn't, and there's no option to disable the display for it. Maybe that's some feedback I can give. The sensitivity's a bit weird on this version. It's not like the current version, it's slightly behind. So let's grab some amount of materials. Because we can't guarantee being able to do exactly what we want to do. So that's quite a good haul, actually. Pretty good. I wonder if we might want to just make the... well, we won't be able to make the habitat builder immediately though, because we need creepvine, which is in another biome, which means that that could be interesting. I have some ideas of how to cheese that. Make a scanner at the very least. And we'll do that and do this. Honestly, I probably should have just kept the oxygen tank on me, but... So we'll go to a wreck as we normally would. We have a copper wire already. I don't care about getting extra materials at the moment, I don't think. I think we're good on extra materials. Let's go to the wreck and see if we can find some sea glide blueprints. Vehicle bay over there as well. Sea glide, sea glide. There's one, I think. Unless there are no... Oh, apparently. Oop, 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 oop. Apparently that's the red grass. Well, there's a bit of bleed of... Oh, hello. There's a bit of bleed of biomes. We don't want to teleport just yet. We want to stick with the safe shallows just for now. Until we make a bit of a run into the kelp forest here, because I want to grab some creepvine seeds. We're going to be a little bit cheeky. I mean, we still have to find our way back to base, so it's certainly not guaranteed to make life much easier for us. We'll grab the salvage as well, why not? And then, these are probably the closest creepvine seeds, so we run in, and 1, 2, 3, sure. 3, 4 maybe. Oop, there we go. And we're in the bulb zone. Okay, from the Lost River entrance, which means we're going to die very quickly. I thought I did remote storage. Didn't work. Oh, we are super dead. We can undo the last teleport, which is kind of cheesy, but I was wanting to remote storage there. Kind of annoying that it holds you in place for a bit. Okay, because that's a really rude first teleport, so we're going to abuse that one. I mean, if you're going to give me an undo button. So, entering the kelp forest from any point does that. So, let's just go back and save our inventory. We could actually make a sea glide now as well. Because the idea was that I would just put stuff in. Why did remote storage not work? Hang on, I've never actually tried remote storage, I don't think, with mods. Oh, it does work. Who knows? Either way, we would have the materials regardless. So we're doing that, and we're doing this. Titanium.
Is essential in construction of vehicles and power plants.
We already have a copper wire, I believe. We could do a second one. Now we can make the knife. We already have O2 tank. We can make the sea glider. Cool. We have a lot of stuff.
Following the massacre on Abraxas Prime, the knife remains the only exception.
Guess we'll just chuck that in there for now.
Will increase your
And do what we would normally do and get the habitat builder at least, because if we have super sea glide, then that makes everything a lot easier.
Kilometers of the nearest life pod or habitat.
Six, I think. 7. 8. It's gonna get really crazy later on, that's for sure. Almost need to just have a base before every teleport, just in case. 1, 2, 3. 4 for good luck. Mostly so that we can then grab a little bit more and get dual fab going immediately. I think I've got all the other materials I need, and I'm close enough to another coral tube if I need it. Here, pop down here, grab another couple of sandstone. Cool. The main thing with this is that because I'm using other mods, 1, I have more quick slots, 2, I have a much better sea glide light, and 3, the map is set with a Tron. Which is lovely. That, make a computer chip, make a wiring kit, so that's enough to make our habitat builder, so we can then get base building. I'm not sure what else, if anything, I should make at that point. So, where should we put our base? We don't need to really put it in one of the normal areas, I don't think. Just somewhere where I can flood it easily. Yeah, probably. Like so. And solar panel. Hey, Yoshi. Welcome, welcome. We're trying out something fun. Blackout with transition mod? No, it's not actually blackout. That's just the timer that I'm using. It's just the splits. Just gonna do any percent for now. Blackout would be very punishing. That is something I do have in mind maybe for in future, but it's just because my splits are going to be meaningless, so... I picked up too many mushrooms, didn't I? Well, some of them can go back in there. Why did I do that? Oh, I want that for afterwards. Yeah, I just want one flare for now, I think. Yeah, we'll take both. And we'll take water bottle as well. Why not? And drop some more mushrooms if we can. Donk, donk. That won't be enough, will it? That flooded. Very late getting the base going, but never mind. We've done one random transition. We found that entering the kelp from the shallows takes us to the Lost River. Which could be handy later, to be fair. Except for we don't know where the other part's going to go? Oh, we need stalker teeth too, don't we? So we've got to find our way to the kelp forest one way or the other. Where should we even go next? So I need some more quartz anyway. I don't think we want to do anything particularly fancy with remote storage and stuff. What we will do though is set up a dupe base and get our glass. At the very least, we also didn't take we didn't reset for spawns, we just took whatever was going. Yeah, blackout with this would be very interesting. Blackout also with like one of the randomizer mods in terms of resources would be interesting. See, I was actually going to test something else. Let's just deconstruct that. I now have everything that I need. I was going to just see if it's more reliable putting it above instead. Kind of is. But that could just be anecdotal from a single thing. So it's not truly reliable. Let's take that off. It's empty anyway. Oh. Hang on. Give me a sec. One moment, please. I forgot to deconstruct one of the shells of that. That's right, because I do need 6. There we go. That's pretty good. Now I can make the big tank. I have some extra rubber I could use to make fins too if I wanted to. Grab some of these because I'm going to need some spare batteries. Through transit breaks any form of remote storage. Ah, that would be why. Yeah. Because I did try and do that. Because my thought was I was a bit cheeky. Because what I did was version of the patch where where super sea glide is not reliable. That's better. What I did is I came over and I went to the little bit of kelp forest here, and I just dove in, grabbed some creepvine seeds, and the idea was that I was going to then use remote storage to send them back, but that failed. So that explains that if it's broken. What I ended up doing is just undoing the teleport because it took me to, yeah, the Lost River, which is kind of amusing. So we just want to test out some transitions now, I think, don't we? Yeah. Actually, no, what I should do is I'm just going to try and find some more sandstone quickly. Come over to the usual spots over here, get another quartz for our other locker. Didn't actually fill up on oxygen, which is kind of bad for me, but, you know, these things happen. Oop, up, up, up. There we go. I'm going to need some more other things. Hey, Tori! Twitch cancelled another subscription. Boo. Doing Mother's Day stuff all weekend. Fair enough. Yeah, my parents are going to be visiting later. I don't exactly know when. They usually let me know in advance. But if I have to kill the stream quickly, it'll be because they've turned up. And I stream in the living room, so it's a bit antisocial. I do wish the light on this, it is white at least, which is nice, but I do wish it was a wider angle. There's some sandstone down here. It all looks so different without the blue. There we go. Some extra gold. Let's grab extra materials in general at the moment. Oh, and the alert just came through. Twitch is a bit slow today, it seems. Ooh, I can't get back without crossing a transition boundary, can I? Though I can probably blast across it fast enough. Otherwise I've got to go, let's just blast through. There we go. At least you do have that, like, 5-second window. Actually, ooh. Now that I have Super Sea Glide, I can be cheeky. I can just go yoink. Yoink. I'm abusing your mod, sorry. Hey, Evac Dizen. Welcome. Welcome, Evac. Let's just eat those, because I have no idea when I'm going to actually do anything with them. or when I'm going to die next. Make another one of those, because why not? We're going to make a rebreather, we'll make another copper wire, because why not? Just got a bunch of handy resources. And we're going to keep spare batteries on us, I think. Right, let's do some transition experimenting. So we know where kelp forest takes us. We want to see where red grass takes us now. Red grass. Where do we go? Even though you can't see this. Okay, so we did get to the grassy plateau, just a different place. It's like from the crash zone instead. Okay, so what happens if we go back into the crash zone? Does this take us back? I can't remember how this is set up. Does this take us back to where we were? It does. Okay, so it does transition. So it shows from grass. Okay, so we can always go back then. If we do the matching transition, essentially. So, if this is taking us to the red grass from crash zone, it'd be nice if we could actually get into the crash zone, because then we could get cyclops. So we need to sleep. Yeah, the time zones are really bad this time of year, unfortunately. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you'll enjoy the result at the end. Let's try kelp forest first. Go. Oh, I should get oxygen, just in case I end up somewhere bad. Sea Treader's path. Okay, 200 meters, that's fine. Ooh, Sea Treader's is good. There's Cyclops fragments here. This is handy. Unfortunately, I don't have a mobile vehicle bay or a purple tablet, because that would be super useful to just get that done. But I can grab a couple of rubies and salt and 3 of these. If I can find my way back home, of course. I'm just going to get oxygen as well, because there's a wreck over there, which I don't have the materials to deconstruct at the moment, but I can overscan some things and find them. Looking around campus, remember, can you help me with guard? No, no thanks. Not one of those again. Not interested in custom graphics or anything. There used to be a bot scam that happened quite regularly. I think it was the reason I started making it follower only. Bridge fragment. Oh. Well. Bridge. Good, so that's all the bridge. Oh, in fact, yeah, it was literally all on the bridge. Of course I get good bridge luck on a run that isn't even valid. Well, deconstruct the wreck now. Wreck go pop. Let's get the data bank that we need. Over here, pop. One moment. Does it even say following since 4 minutes ago? Yeah. Sorry. Whether valid or not, unsolicited things I'm not interested in. Well, it's an older account, but still acting like a bot. It followed 4 minutes ago and immediately starts posting like advertising spam. I'm gonna guess either hacked or something. What transitions can we test here? We can try going to the dunes, we can try going to sparse. Or the blood kelp trench. Which way are we going? Towards the lifebot. Try going to the blood kelp trench and see what happens. Where do we go? Oh, we actually did get to the blood kelp trench, but from the grassy plateaus. Interesting. So if we then go through here, does this take us back? I'm just testing the logic still, basically. Yes, Sea Treader's Path from Bloodcult Trench. Yeah. I didn't actually pay attention to the original. Oh, originally it was from Grand Reef, wasn't it? Let's actually go back here. Let's go to... Oh, is this... different biome, is it? Lost River from Alien Base. Okay. Apparently that's... well, that's interesting. Should we try our luck? I don't think I have enough resources to even make a base, unfortunately. And now we're in the blood kelp zone, so we can hop about again. Oh, now we're in the kelp forest. From dunes. Okay, interesting. So we don't want to go back. Well, now we can try and find some mobile vehicle bay fragments, so that's useful. And maybe get some more resources. Let's grab another couple of these. So we can make some lubricant and stuff. I already have the rubber, actually. So I guess we only need 2 of them. We won't pick up salvage because we can find that wherever. We want to leave our inventory empty. Not empty, but... well, this is a very... oh, this is by the mushroom. Okay. We're right by the mushroom kingdom. Well, that gives us another way to go next. Ooh, hello. Oh, was that considered the shallows? Oh, so this is just a tiny little bit of the kelp forest then. Okay, there's no fragments around here, is there? So to the dunes from here isn't good because that takes us back to Lost River. Oh good, we can get a couple of mobile vehicle bay fragments. There's this here, and this here. Oh, we're teleporting. That's fine actually, to be honest. So kelp to grassy plateau takes us to the mushroom forest from... okay, so right, basically just did that. That's amusing. I mean... we'll grab one of those. I'm just gonna scan this while we teleport. So that's, yeah, that takes us back to the kelp forest from grassy plateau, apparently. Okay, so going from kelp forest to grassy plateau takes us to the mushrooms and vice versa. Okay, let's get oxygen again. We're slowly learning how this is working at the moment. So let's go back to the mushroom kingdom. It seems to be consistent with where it drops you as well. Because there's a few places that could be mushroom forest from kelp forest. It could have taken us to the other side, but it didn't, which is handy. We're going to be cheeky again, and we're going to come over here, and we're just going to grab that. Because we need that for later. Sparse Reef from Floating Island. Okay, is the way to get to the Koosh zone. We can grab some gel sacks and some lithium maybe, because why not? It's going to be really hard to string a run together normally, isn't it? One more lithium would be useful. There we go, so now we can actually make something useful out of that. Oh, moon pool actually I can get from here. Maybe. I should have scanned bioreactor when I came across it earlier actually. Would have increased my chances. One more moon pool please, game. Game says no. Well, at least we only need one later, so that's a start. That's a thermal plant. Okay, so sparse to floating island gets us back to blood kelp. No, gets us to mushrooms, because we were in mushrooms and we were going to Kush Zone, that's right. Okay. So we know how to get to the Lost River from somewhere, which is good. Though it was kind of the wrong place. We do want to get back to the shallows eventually. I mean, I can collect enough materials to just make a base so that we'll keep our things at least. Maybe I should overscan something while I have the opportunity, actually. Oh, that's thermal, that's right, not bioreactor. This is bioreactor. I always forget the bioreactor can actually be here because I usually have it by now in runs where it's relevant, because it's usually only bingo where it's relevant. And then there was another thermal plant here, so we're just making sure that we have blueprints so that we can overscan things when presented the opportunity. Of course, it's not going to present us the opportunity because it's mean. Boo. Sometimes you get fragments down there. Okay. So, let's try going to the Grand Reef or Grassy Plateau, maybe. Let's try going to the Grassy Plateau. It's a fun way to see the world, that's for sure. You get a good cross-section. I should have cut an eye stalk. Never mind. Oh, Grand Reef from Floating Island. Interesting. Okay. So is there a way to get to the floating island without going? Because this will just take me back to where I was. So the only way to get to the floating island is probably using an actual portal at this point. We can go to the wreck over here and maybe get our other moon pool. Too low. Maybe get our other moon pool. Yep. Cool. And then we can also grab a quartz and another moon pool so that we now have the materials we need to save our inventory. Because that might be important, depending on where we end up. With that in mind, I'm not going to bother getting oxygen. So at any point we can go back to our life pod, basically, by making a base, deconstructing the hatch, dying. Then the death warp mechanic, I assume, is still sacrosanct and should work as expected. Also, the Deep Grand Reef is not considered, we call it the Deep Grand Reef, but it's not considered a separate biome because it didn't actually trigger a teleport. That's interesting. Well, let's try and go to the Lost River and see where that takes us while we still have the oxygen. So, Lost River from Deep Grand Reef, or from Grand Reef. Ooh, the mountains. Oh, perfect, and it's the portal as well. Ooh, I almost have the materials to make a base. Why did it say from alien base? Oh, right, so... did that for one other thing as well, didn't it? It said from alien base. Interesting. So... ah, because I guess you can just leave from there and that would count. Interesting.
Continued degradation of the auroras.
Do we just chance it and jump even further? So what happens if we come in here? Oh, okay. So we need to figure out how to get into an alien base. Grassy plateaus from Cragfield. Okay, so if we can get to the grassy plateau, which we do kind of know how to do. How did we do that? Oh, trying to enter the kelp forest. Then took us to grassy plateau from crash zone, and then we can get down here, and that should take us to the QEP. So that's good to know. That's handy. Okay, so we should be able to just go back to base now then, by just going through here. We're learning. Voila. Still need one mobile vehicle bay fragment, I think, don't we? But that's fine, because clipping out of bounds is probably just chaos. I'm not sure that would add anything to the run. In fact, I think that might make it worse. So, we can now go back to our base and get rid of some of the stuff. We can make the hydrochloric acid, we can make the aerogel, and the polyaniline. We can make lubricant and lubricants. Cool. Dump all of those in there. We have one wiring kit. Guess we want to put these maybe in here for now. Okay. So I need to find a way, because there was the kelp forest we only got to from the dunes, and that's not good. Oops, wrong one. So we know how to get to the Kush zone, don't we? That was just going to... It was Kush zone from Lost River. Was just entering the kelp forest from Shallows. Yeah, bulb zone from Lost River. Okay. But this is just a very small pocket of bulb zone. Isn't it? If we move too much, it's gonna not be the bulb zone. We can get some ghost weed while we're here. There's actually a... Oh, yeah, see, now it says teleporting again. Probably because it's the mountain biome now. There is an eye stalk around somewhere. Ah, there it is. So let's grab that. Oh, this is still considered bulb zone. Interesting. Now it's not. So this is now going to the mountain biome from the bulb zone. This is now crash zone from Cragfield. There's a time capsule. Crash zone from Cragfield. And then we can enter the red grass. Maybe? Inactive lava zone from Lost River. Okay. Well, we can get some nickel, maybe. And then we would just want to go straight back up again to go back to where we were. One. We won't look a gift nickel in the house, in the mouth. Two. And can we find a third? We can go back and get oxygen and come back down again. I think that's probably a strat. So, entering here. I could just press U, that does the same thing, doesn't it? Undoing last teleport. Probably do the Aurora before it explodes, now that you know how to get there. A true crash zone, yeah. I kind of don't care, like I can just do a glitchless if I need to. But yes, that is a very good point. Is the whole Aurora considered the crash zone though? Also I can get Cyclops engine as well. Maybe. If it'll give me any. Apparently it's not going to give me any. No, is that? I can't actually. I don't have enough health because I went into the lava zone. Unless I get really lucky on these things and it's a medkit. Ooh, hello. I won't bother trying to get the Cyclops, I guess. We'll just do this first. At least it's almost daytime. The transitions also screw up the lighting a bit. That's not a problem with the mod, that's a problem with the game. Teleporting into somewhere always messes up the lighting. Not a separate biome, that's good. Go away. Reaper just following us around being obnoxious. Cool. Okay, so that's the Cyclops unlocked, which is handy. I will need to do the new patch way in as well, actually. Which means we definitely need a medkit. No, don't lose Super Seed Light. Actually, it doesn't matter so much with current patch strats. It's just longer to get there. Let's pop that now. Oh, we're not going to keep our inventory. We need to save our inventory first. That's awkward. Which means maybe we actually now just die and come back so that we have full health and everything. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. It'll take a little while, but I should have put the base a little bit closer, but I'm not going to undo it and stuff now. Basically because I picked up material and stuff. I have 2 nickel on me, after all. The radiation takes so long to kill you when you actually leave it be, doesn't it? It's kind of annoying. It always seems to tick down so fast when you're actually doing something and don't want it to. There we go. Cool. Deconstruct the hatch. Right, because the current patch way of getting up doesn't require Super Sea Glide. Technically. Find the right bit here to jump out of the water. If it lets me jump out of the water. There we go. Alrighty. Jump, jump. We could theoretically be cheeky and try and use these boxes to get us power cells and stuff. Actually, I don't think we can't drop anything when we're in here, can we? So no, that won't work. Okay, 2679 is thankfully still the code. Imagine if a randomizer mod randomized the door code. You just had to try unlimited combinations. Well, that gets us back to base, which is handy. Just gonna grab another meat kit just for good measure. So we can drop off a couple of things, which is handy. We need to get back to the mountain. Where was it that got us to the mountain? It was fairly convoluted, I seem to remember. 4 of those again. Put the dead battery back in there because we don't need that anymore. So we have pretty much all of these that we need except for the sea crown. So we're good to go on the cure materials once we figure out how to get to the PCF. But that's going to be a separate thing. Okay, so if remote storage doesn't work anyway, we can get back to the lava zone easily enough. How was it that we got to... I'm going to check the cheat sheet here. Yeah, so crash zone goes to the inactive lava zone if we try and go to the red grass. Grand Reef goes to mountains if we go into the Lost River, that's right. Yeah. And we get to... So then the grassy plateaus. We haven't been to the jelly shrimp cave yet. Safe shallows from grassy plateau. F. That's right, yeah. Yeah, going that way gets us to the safe shallows. Yeah, going that way gets us to the mountains, is it? Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we only know about that one, and that's the crash zone from the grassy plateaus gets us there. This is really confusing. Kelp forest from dunes. That's right, leaving goes to sea treaders, that's right. That's how we got to sea treaders. Grand Reef from Lost River is I. Oh, that's if the portal's open. Then taking the portal gets us to Grand Reef. Mushroom Forest. Or just Alien Base in general, I think, wasn't it? But yeah. Kelp Forest. And then Sea Treaders. We've got most of the ways from there. Grassy Plateau. Lost River from Alien Base is going to Sparse. And then there's a Blood Kelp Trench, and we didn't test the Dunes one. So Blood Kelp Trench from Grassy Plateau gets us to Sea Treaders. And then once we're in Sea Treaders, if we go sea, then it's Lost River from Alien Base. This isn't necessarily helping us. Then that gets us to Kelp Forest from Dunes, Kelp Forest through to the Grassy Plateau gets us to the Mushroom Forest. It's all very confusing, quite frankly. It's hard to keep track of exactly what things mean. You know what we should probably do is just grab a bunch of metal salvage and dupe moon pools and make everything that we need there. Just get all of the materials we need. We need a lot of sandstone as well. We really need to be able to get to kelp forest from red grass, preferably, but it needs to be a very specific part of it. Otherwise, we just comb the grassy plateau, I guess. I think this is definitely going to be a two-parter. I don't think we're actually going to get this all done in one session, which is a shame, because that's what I wanted to do. That, and two of those. Oops. Okay, then we do that. Want to do it 4 times, I think, or 5 times. Yeah, 5 times, I think is fine. And we're just going to leave it there so that we just have it if we need it in the future. Okay, cool. Now we don't need that much lead, and we don't need that much lubricant either. I think that's all we need. We need that and that to make a power cell, so we can make the mobile vehicle bay. It's kind of nice to have. If we get back to sea treaders, then, or sparse rather, then maybe we can clip out of bounds into the lab cache would be nice. Let's just make a plasteel. Why not? Dump all those back in there anyway. Sure. Okay. Where to next? So... Sea treaders. How did we want to do that? I think we do this to get to sea treaders. No, to here. Does it have to hold you in place for quite that long? So this should now, we've just dipped into the mountain biome basically. So this should take us to, this is crash zone, crag field. And then we want to go to, is that time capsule again? We want to go to the red grass. Oh, that was the inactive lava zone. Okay, I don't think we wanted that. We're going to drown, but that's probably fine. I just need one more nickel and then I'll keep, thank you, then I'll keep that. That's all the 3 that I need. And now we just test. We should be able to go from here all the way through to the thermal plant and see what it is that we need to do to get there. I think that would be advantageous. We do need to get back to the mountain at some point to pick up tablets. I should have thought about that when I was there last. When I was there the first time. I shouldn't have grabbed that because now I won't necessarily keep my... You know what? Let's just do that because I want to keep my nickel. But what happens if I do this? Apparently I'm still swimming, which is amusing. Where do we go? Grand Reef from Sparse Reef. Okay, so we know how to get there. Kind of. Cool. Okay, so Grand Reef from Sparse Reef. We'll just die and go back to base, that's fine. So we know how to get to the thermal plants. Now we need to figure out how we go back to the mountain. That was, I think, that we want to go to kelp forest first. So let's put that in the locker. Click. Good. We're collecting all the things we need first, aren't we? So seat light again. It works. Yeah, good. Okay, so into kelp forest again, was it? Bomb zone from Lost River. No, this wasn't what I wanted. This is actually not what I wanted. So let's go back into the Lost River. Teleport in. That'll take us back to the shallows. What was it we wanted then? We want to go to the grassy plateau, I think. Which takes us to the other side. And then we want to go to the kelp forest, I think, from here. I wasn't going to the mountains from here. Good. Grassy plateau, mountains from Alien Base if we go south. Yeah. Let's do that and let's get us some whatchamacallits? Tablets. Because purple tablets are useful. Right, so it just drops us there. There's that. We don't have a separate base, but that probably won't matter because who knows where we'll end up when we actually do things. Let's grab that first. And we get to keep all of these as well, which is handy. Maybe we should collect some lithium actually while we're here as well. And some more gold, come to think of it. Just do our usual resource collection. 3 and 1, 4, 5. So we need 12 lithium still, so that's 6, 7, 8. Cool, I mean that's a start. I don't need any diamonds. That's 8 of them. Grab this tablet here. So that's 2 tablets, so that's thermal plant and maybe control room. Not sure if we're going to be able to clip out of bounds easily, are we? Let's get oxygen first, and then we'll test going to the... We could test going just onto the... Oh no, it's technically still a mountain, isn't it? Test going to the underwater islands. See where we end up. Wonk. Oh, we actually get to the underwater islands just from a different entrance. Whoa, hi, bone shark. So... So from the underwater islands, we can then try going to, like, the kelp forest. We're just trying to get lucky at this point. Blood kelp trench from Sea Treader's Path. I don't want to be here.